Reminder, this is not a beginner's ab series. And if you have any back injuries, herniated disc, bulging disc, I do not advise this as your starting point. I think that you should definitely be a one-on-one situation and have your PT or personal trainer guide you along. But if your back is fine and you are ready to get some serious abs in, we are going to go ahead and start. I always like to start off with a little extra movement before we go straight into our exercises. So we're going to come to the back of our mats. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, raise the arms up, take a nice deep breath and stretch up into the toes and fingers. Just get all the blood flowing. We're going to bring the heels down, bend the knees. We're going to round down through the spine, using the abdominals. And we're going to slowly, keeping the core engaged, we're going to walk out into a plank. We're going to hold our plank, pulling the abs up, pushing up out of the armpits, and then we're going to walk back with our hands, engaging the core, and reach the opposite hand to the opposite leg. And then we're going to bend the knees, drop the head, and slowly roll back up through the abdominals and the spine. One more time. Deep breath in, reach and get the blood flowing, and heels down, shoulders down, bend the knees, round through that spine, stretching the back out, getting the blood moving, and mindfully walk out into a plank, engaging the abdominals so it all the weight is not on your shoulders. Come into a nice plank, hold the plank, and we're just going to start with a little bit of ab engagement. We're going to slowly bend the knee up to the hip and back, and other side. If this feels like it's too much, we're just going to go ahead and hold the plank. And let's do one more each side, bringing that knee up, engaging those abdominals, and walk the hands back, using the abdominals to reach one side and the other, and then bring the knees down to the mat, stretch the spine, and we're going to go ahead and bring our legs to the front of our mats. We're going to do some roll downs. If this is your first time, you can keep your knees bent. And we're slowly going to use your hands to assist in your roll down, closing through the ribs, slowly trying to descend onto the mat, keeping the chin off the chest, and roll down. You can straighten the legs out, straighten the arms out, take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to come on up. If you need to, please bend the knees and use your hands. If you are ready, we're just going to come up, closing the ribs, trying to keep this pace of nice and slow movement, and big forward bend. And one more time, again, bend your knees if you need to. Use your hands for a little extra assistance. If you're ready, we're just going to go ahead, keeping the chest open, keeping the chin off the chest, trying to keep my pace, and we're going to come on down. We're going to start off with a nice mindful reminder of all the abs. We have inner abs and outer abs. We want to really connect with those inner abs. We're going to bring the knees up into tabletop, and we're going to flatten, imprint that spine into your mat. Try to shut off your chin and chest. Knees are about hip width apart. Try not to let there be an arch underneath your back, and we're just going to do little movements. We're going to slowly bring both toes towards the mat and back up. Again, you're only going as far as you can while you feel that back firmly imprinted on the mat. If your toes are going all the way down, your back is probably arching, and you're not doing your abs any favors by getting stronger and lifting your back up. So we're just doing a couple. I like this movement a lot because it's very little is going on, and you can really take this time to connect the mind into the core, really trying to turn on those abs. I often tap clients' muscles to see if their abdominals are truly engaged or if they're just doing this with their legs. And we're going to do two more of mindfully pressing those abs in and down and back up, trying not to use the shoulders and chest. And last one. And let's hug the knees in. Take a nice deep breath in. Let's place the feet on the mat. They're hip width apart. Feet are fairly close to the glutes. And we're going to start on our upper abs, a place where I think most people are lacking sometimes. And we're going to spider crawl up to our knees, going into a C curve, trying to keep space between that chin and chest, and then slowly come back down. And while this is also another one of those really small movements, looks like it might be easy, it should not feel easy. And back down. We're going to do this 5 times. This 3. Hold it up for a second. I'm going nice and slow for a reason. We're always trying to use strength over momentum. You're going to get a lot more out of your workout than you will if you just mindlessly move the body up and down. And one more time, let's crawl up to those knees. We're going to hold it here, and we're going to hold, keeping the hand placed on the knee. We're going to raise one arm up to your ear, holding that C curve. The C is from the knee to your head, and down, and 2, and down, really scooping those abs, closing those ribs. 3, and 4, and hang out up here, and other arm for 4, and 3, and 2. You should really feel a burn now, and 1, and hopefully you're not gripping for dear life with the other hand, because now we're going to try to do both arms up, holding the upper back off the mat, trying to keep those feet on the mat. If it's too much to do both arms, just hold that C curve best you can, and slowly come back down. You should have really felt that engage right between those ribs and those upper abs. And now we're going to do a nice low ab one. You can place your hands underneath your glutes if that makes you feel a little bit more secure in your low back. We're always trying to keep the back in a rather neutral position during our abs. So we're not using the back inadvertently, but really focusing on our abs. We're going to bring the knees in. That way you can really feel that back imprint into the mat. We're going to close those knees together to start. Try to not grip through the shoulders and chest, and we're going to extend the legs out at an angle, and then we're going to flex them up towards our face, and we're going to bring them down and fold them in. We're trying to keep our knees together. So that really engages those low abdominals, and bend them in. Again, don't go so low that you have to arch through your back. Keep it at a nice manageable angle. So out and up. And if you need to bend your knees, that's fine. We don't need to stress out the back or the hamstrings, but we're doing the best we can. And out and up, really trying to keep my pace. I'm doing this very slow and very intentionally because it's much more effective than swinging your legs around and getting nothing else done except for some random movements. And let's see, one more of these. Knees are together, out at an angle, up towards your face, down straight, and fold the knees in. If that wasn't enough for you, we're going to switch it up, keeping that same position. Again, you can always keep your hands underneath your glutes, give that tailbone a little raise up to keep the low back down. Try not to use the arms and the shoulders. We're going to put those heels together, turn the toes out, and we're going to go out in frogs and in. So I'll change the angle a little bit. Heels are together, toes are wide, press it out. I like the point to the top. And then we've got 3 more of these. The press on out, point, flex, and pull it in. Again, a little bit of your mind should be involved here. Remembering to keep that back really grounded into your mat. Trying to keep the shoulders, neck, and chest out of this exercise. And I started going into what our next one is for the third part of this abs sequence. And we're going to go out. Now we're going to go up. Heels are together, down, and frog it back in. We have 4 more of these. So out. Toes are wide. Heels are together. Inner thighs and low abs are really working hard. That's 2. And out. And up. And down. And in. And again, please try and keep my pace. Challenge yourself. If you need to take a break, you can take a break, but don't start getting sloppy. You're going to end up hurting your back or just wasting your time. Nobody needs to waste any time. And in. And last one. Press them out, toes wide. Bring them up and down and pull them in. Let's hug those knees in. I like to roll my knees in their hip sockets because it feels fantastic. And get excited because here is our next move. We're going to send one leg up towards the ceiling. The other one is going to come out again at an angle. Scoop that chest up. And we're going to do single leg pulses. You can hold on to your hamstring, your knee, your calf, your ankle, wherever you can get to. And we're going to pulse that leg towards our face for 1. Switch 1 and 2. Switch 2. If this is too much on your neck and you're not ready for it, go ahead, bring your head down. Just really try to keep those abs working. And 4. Switch 4. And 5. Switch 5. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine. We're just really focusing on the abs here. And 7. Switch 7. Pulsing that leg. The leg is pulsing more from the abs than the arms are just hand placements. And 9. Switch 9. Last one, 10. Switch 10. Let's hug it in. Nice deep breath in and out. Roll those knees. And now we're going to do a combo. I call these the X's. Again, this is a little more challenge. Our legs are going to come slightly out in a V. Arms are going to be slightly below the shoulder sockets. And we're going to take the right hand to the left leg and bring them up. And open down. Right before they touch the ground, we're bringing them back up for 2. And back up for 3. Again, be mindful. This is not arching up and down through the back. It's okay if the back comes slightly off. And 6. And 7. Same side. We're not alternating sides on this. 8. 2 more. And 9. And last one on this side. Again, arms are on the ground. Try not to use the shoulders and chest. Right in. Left arm, right leg. They come up and meet. So you're kind of making an X for 2. And 3. Really feel that cross section of your abs working. And 4. And 5. And 6. Almost there. You should really feel all the abs engaged here. 7. 8. Check your other shoulder. Is it relaxed? If not, turn it off. 9. 1 more. 10. And bring it in. Give a nice hug into those knees. We got 2 more exercises to make it through. That's going to be it for today. And so we're going to go ahead and hug the knees in. Try to keep that C curve so your upper back is off the mat. We're going to extend the arms up to the ears. Extend the legs out. Again, don't go so low that you have to arch through the back. And 2. Again, we're really trying to maintain this nice controlled pace. It's much more effective than swinging the body around. This is 4. We're going to try to make it through 10. And we are. And if not, that's okay. Just come down and rest. And 6. Sweeping those arms around. 7. And around. 8. And hold. 9. Remember, your chest is not coming up and down. Chin is off the chest. And we're going to try to hold this for 3, 2, and 1. And hug it in. And roll those knees in the hip sockets. And we're going to get, I said, 2 more abs to make it through. We're going to do a little bit of a challenging one here. We're going to really work on the obliques. Again, this is not a beginner one. If you have shoulder issues, this is my favorite. I call them the waist makers because they're very challenging. But if you call them the waist makers, it makes them that much easier to get through. You can either have a straight arm fairly close to your armpit, or you can come down onto your forearm and elbow. You're going to place the top leg in front. You're going to line the body up. I like to work on a straight arm for my full range of motion. Again, I've been doing this for a while. And you're going to try to put headlights on the front of your pelvis, keeping them facing forward. Arm goes along your leg, and you're going to pull all the way up and come down. Right before your hip touches the mat, come right back up for 2. And down. And right back up for 3. We're only going to do 4, but we're going to hold this 4th one up. Check your hips and look at that hand at the ceiling and cross that hand under and through. Let the hips come up and back up. And 2. And back up. Only 2 more to make it through. Again, try to keep my pace with all of these. You're more mindful in your movements, more mindful where your body is, and much more effective for your abdominals. Great. If you want to give a little roll out here, it feels very nice on the waist. And now we're just going to switch the feet to the other side. Again, mindfully line ourselves up. If you want to work on your elbow, 100% fine, especially if you have wrist issues. If you're ready, you can work on a straight arm. Top leg goes slightly in front. Put your headlights facing forward. Arm goes along your leg. And we're going to lift up through the obliques here. And which are really just called obliques. But I used to teach in Central America, so sometimes I like to call them obliques. This is 3. And remember, we're trying not to collapse down, but hold it right before you get down to the mat. And 4, hold this one up, hand to the ceiling. Watch that hand, follow it through and behind you, letting the hips come on up. For 1, and come on through for 2. 2 more, you've got this. And 3. And the last one, come on through. And gracefully, without collapsing, come down to your mat and give yourself a little bit of back and forth. And if you want one more out challenge, stick with me. We're going to do some rolls. If you're done, good job. Those were not that easy. I hope that you felt them in all the right places and were mindful with them. If you want to stick with me and do a couple of full roll downs and roll backs and roll ups, please do. We're going to bring the legs forward. Big forward bend, stretching out that spine. It's going to be pretty challenging because our abs might be a little exhausted. Keep the chin off the chest. Start rolling down, closing the ribs, going through those middle abs. Really kind of lower yourself down with control. You can place your hands along your side at the mat. Lift one leg up, then the other. And slowly, don't throw. This is a roll back. You can slowly lift those hips up and come back behind you. And then slowly lower them down. Try to keep the strength in your abs. Hands are here for helpers, not doers, as I always like to say. And slowly descend down. Bring one leg down to the mat, other leg down to the mat, hands up to the ceiling, chin off the chest, and let's slowly roll on up. And big forward bend. And let's just repeat that one last time. Chin off the chest, chest open. Try not to grip through the upper body. Mindfully rolling down, one abdominal at a time. If you're more advanced, please put your hands behind you or leave them at your side if that's more helpful. As long as you can manage the roll and not a throwing of the legs. And slowly start from those low abs that we worked on. And slowly peel back behind you. Take any stretch you might want back here. And if you can, flex those feet. Slowly peel down. Trying to use control. Try not to use those arms. Try to let them just be and put all of your mind and energy into those abdominals. If you can, keep my pace. And bring one leg down. Other leg down. Arms up. Chin off the chest, and slowly peel up. And you made it through.